All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to TCR Action. And tonight we've got Golden Class here lined up for you in a very special place, I'm sure, to a lot of people on the grid tonight. We are at Circuit of the Americas at USA. And yeah, this is one hell of a track. It's very, very complicated. It's very long, 5.5 kilometers to do one lap, about 3.41 miles. We're going to do 28 laps today as well, which is one of the longer Grand Prix we've got. 154 kilometers total, and we've got 20 turns around this track, which is quite a lot for a Formula One track. I think the only one that has more is Singapore with 23. So joining us tonight again in the booth is myself, BLIN-MACHINE. I'm really happy to be here again. And also with me, the one that keeps on rocking the nation because his name is Mr. Sensation.
Wow, that's nice. I commend you on that one. Wow, that was very cool.
All right, I'm really glad you liked that one. I wasn't sure how you're going to respond to it, but yeah, welcome back again. I'm really glad to have you in the booth with me tonight. And how are things going? What are you most looking forward to tonight?
I got to be honest. I'm not a fan of USA. But what I'm looking forward to tonight actually is going to be what I saw last night with you guys actually racing in the silver class. There was a lot of battles. I don't think we're going to have any wet weather today. I'll be surprised if we do, but a lot of places being changed and a lot of battles taking place. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
All right, so that sounds like we might be in for a good one. Last night, yeah, definitely that weather that came in late into the race shook things up for everybody. I don't think people, practice too much in the wet. And that created a lot of different situations. I decided to pit for another set of intermediate tires when the safety car came out late as well. So that really changed things up for me, put me back into traffic, and so it did for a lot of other people. It's going to be very exciting to see here today. One thing I'm excited to see, actually, now that, since the championship is already decided in this class, Failed UX, of course, is our champion for Season 9 of Golden Class and TCR. But one thing that is still up for grabs is P3. At the moment, we have a very, very close battle for P3. Currently, Latope is holding that spot with 97 points. But Flying Jippo is in 4th with 86 points, so only an 11-point gap there. That can be made up over the next couple of Grand Prix for sure. RC7 behind Flying Jippo in 5th place with 84 points, so only a 2-point gap there. And then to help things out as well, Zegrease in 6th place with 81 points. So those people from 3rd to 6th, they're all going to be very, very close battling here today. And I got to say, those people usually end up in battling in most races that we've seen them in the season so far. They're sort of somewhere around 3rd to 4th place to 6th place, just exactly where their standings are. Are you expecting that they're going to be battling hard here today as well?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely going to be battling. So we're looking at what you said for 3rd place. So as far as 3rd place, is that... I'm trying to think here, because you already have the champion leader, which is Fatal, like you said.
Yep.
So this is really the battle for 2nd.
Well, no, because 2nd place is very firmly in the grasp of Flip-Flop Fish. As we've currently got the first quick lap around the track of 132.889. But yeah, Failed UX right now is currently sitting at 205 points. Okay. So he's pretty much clear by 56 points ahead of Flip-Flop Fish. I think Flip-Flop Fish is around 155 or somewhere around there, so there's quite a bit of a gap, and unfortunately that cannot be made up anymore in the remaining couple of Grand Prix here today. But yeah, from there on, the gap is quite big to Latope. It's 97 points for Latope and 155 for Flip-Flop Fish, so that is 7 points. Help me out here. 58 points. Quite a big gap, right? So I don't think that's going to be made up, unfortunately, either. So it's really a a battle for third place, all the way down, even possibly all the way down to ninth place, because W is currently in ninth with 65 points, Dre Diggy in eighth with 66, and Bam Bam with 70 points, currently holding seventh place. So even those people, if they have a really good race here today, if they end up on the podium, that can definitely give them a major boost in the season.
All right, so what we got for the constructors? Is that wrapped up too?
Let me take a look here, but I'm pretty sure that the constructors are going to be wrapped up for Renault. Although for the constructors, there's a lot of different points for grabs, right? They do have two drivers on track, so both of those drivers could potentially get, you know, first and second place. That's quite a bit of points. But Renault is currently sitting at 289 points. Ferrari is in second with 226. So that battle could possibly, you know, close in. But then McLaren and Toro Rosso are separated by 1 point at 152 and 151 respectively. And then we've got Haas at 128, Racing Point at 124, Red Bull 71, Alfa Romeo 63, Williams 39, and funnily enough, in last place in Golden Class for this season is Mercedes with only 13 points to their name. I wish that was the actual lineup of, you know, F1 2020, because, I mean, think about it. Renault and Ferrari fighting for the championship. McLaren and Toro Rosso battling it out. Haas and Racing Point, and then Red Bull and Alfa Romeo, you know, hanging there at the back with Williams, and Mercedes completely sucking at the very back of the grid. That would be amazing to watch if that was actually the realistic situation of Formula One, wouldn't it?
It definitely would be. That would be a lot of heartbreaking.
Yeah, especially I think in you know, in the UK, a lot of people would be absolutely devastated by that. But just to run through the qualifying situation that we've got so far, Z-Grease is currently on top with a 132.2 on the soft tire. Dre Diggy has done a 132.5, good enough for second right now. M9H Racing is on another outlap on a brand new set of soft tires, but he's currently sitting in third place with a 132.8. RC7 in fourth with a 133.0. Bam Bam very, very close to RC, only a few thousandths of a second to separate them there. And then we've got Flying Jippo. So again, there we go. We've got the same sort of players right there already in the battle, even in qualifying. And then, yeah, let's open seventh. It is important to note, though, that Flying Jippo in sixth, Latope in seventh, and Coleman in eighth are the only three so far that have put in a lap on the medium tire, and the rest of the grid so far that have put in any laps have done that on the soft tire. So yeah, just watching on board right now with M9H Racing as he's coming to the end of his outlap on a brand new set of tires, and as soon as he crosses that line, I want to go on board and I want to walk you guys through this track and through a lap around here, because it's not an easy one. It's really not an easy one. There's a lot of different curves. It's sort of like a bunch of different tracks all put together. So we're coming across the line right now, opening up the DRS, and you gotta run up the hill into turn one. You can brake a little bit later because you are braking uphill, so you're getting that inertia to slow you down a little bit. Through turn one, gotta get a good exit here. Just kissing the outside curb, getting a really good smooth run. And now through turns 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And now a little bit of a harder right-hander into 7, and now into 8. Now here you got to downshift, and then you got to cut the inside curb on the on the left. Can't run too wide so you don't get your lap invalidated. And now coming into turn 11, which is going to bring us out to the fastest section of this track. This is a huge straight. It's one of the longest on any track that we've got in the Formula 1 2019 season, and you've got DRS zone number 2 as well to get you up to your top speed here, almost 200 miles per hour, and then turning into 12. Now coming around 13 again, got a downshift, but then get a good exit. got to upshift a little bit earlier than that, but he still gets a really great run there. M9H Racing on a pretty good lap so far as he finishes out the second sector and now into the third sector. Really, really fast right-hander around here. Now you can cut a bit of the corner on the left. Now coming into the last corner on the track, really hard braking into second gear and around, and this is the line right there. So M9H Racing goes up to 4th place, improves on this time a little bit. Still got a bit of time to go in qualifying, about almost 8 minutes to go, so I'm expecting some people to improve on their time still yet. Failed UX has now jumped to provisional pole with a 132.1, and that knocks down Z-Grease the second. Dre Diggy is on an out lap right now on a brand new set of soft tires. Yeah, so Mr. Sensation, you know, in this position, if you were in this position, as most of the drivers in this league right now, the championship is decided, the Constructors' Championship, you know, looks like it's pretty much decided as well. What are you really fighting for, or what is your goal for the remaining couple of races in this season?
Well, finish out the season strong, you know. You can get steal those 25 points. That's what I would be playing for. I mean, even though the season's over, you know what? Why can't I get the 50 points for the next 2 races? You know, you got USA, you got Mexico for the season finale. You know, if you're in the hunt as far as the constructors, you know, get with your teammate and just say, hey, you know what? Let's try to jump a couple of places on somebody, or you know, if we got a shot at winning the whole thing. Hey, you know, steal the show, you know, break some hearts out there, you know, be some heartbreakers. That's what I would be playing for.
So basically this is a chance just to make a name for yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
all right.
They're gonna think everybody else is gonna think, oh well, you know, it's gonna be flip flop and fatal, or, you know, maybe M9, you know, W might get in there. So if somebody like for example, let's say Coleman was to pull it out, or Ben Swervin, you know, they'd be like, wait a minute, what are these guys doing here? You know, they're not supposed to be here.
They would have to change their name to Mrs. Sensation.
There you go.
Oh man, I love having you in the commentator booth. You always, you know, add a little bit of sunshine and happiness into it. But everybody who's watching the stream as well, thank you guys so much for joining us already. Leave a like, leave a comment, let us know if you guys are, you know, cheering for any particular drivers here today, or if you think anybody's gonna steal the show here in the last couple of races in Season 9 of TCR Golden Class. It's been one hell of a season. We've gotten the chance to commentate on most of it, and yeah, we've had everything from ridiculous amounts of safety cars within a single race, down to, you know, wheel-to-wheel racing, huge crashes, and yeah, for all the drivers that are going to watch the stream after the race is done by any chance, if you have any moments that you have enjoyed, that you have on board footage of, or if you have any sort of particular, you know, races that you thought you did really, really well in, definitely send them in, because we want to, you know, put all of that together and see what we can make out of it, see if we can put a little bit of a montage together of all of the best and possibly worst moments of the season as well, because yeah, it's been a very, very exciting season. We've seen some upsets, we've seen some people come in out of nowhere and blow everybody out of the water as well, so I'm really interested to see what sort of onboards, you know, people have, and possibly moments that we might have missed on screen as well.
Yeah, you know, as you were saying all of that, I was just thinking about, like when we was talking earlier, with the new track at Vietnam, I was wondering, as complicated as I was saying to you before about that track, I wonder if it's going to be up there with Malaysia, because people didn't like Malaysia. I had no problem with Malaysia. They just didn't. Some people really didn't like it, so I'm wondering, like, with Vietnam, if USA is complicated, Vietnam on the next game is going to be the most complicated track. You're going to have a... You can't play around with the setup, I think, on that one. You can't just be, like, copying, like, you know, like I had said prior past, oh, I'm gonna use Italy's setup on Canada because they're they're pretty much the same. What do you say about like the Vietnam track? What setup do you use that's going to be the same as that?
Azerbaijan, Baku. That would be, I think, the closest sort of setup that I would use for that, because really it's just a bunch of yeah, because it's really just a bunch of straights separated by a couple of roundabouts. And I think Azerbaijan, slightly tweaked setup could definitely work for that. I think a little bit more aero would definitely do some good. But then again, you know, with F1 2020 coming in just a few more weeks, there's a lot of other factors that are going to play into the picture, because, I mean, you know, the new handling model is completely different. ERS deployment is going to be completely different. These cars in general are going to be completely differently coded and written into the code with their, you know, all of their specifications and the pace of their sort of guessing that they would have this season. And of course, it looks like we're going to have the game come out pretty much as soon as they have the next Grand Prix. So we're probably going to get an update after the game comes out in terms of the realistic pace of the cars after we actually see them on track. But yeah, I mean, Hanoi is definitely going to be a very interesting circuit. It seems to be quite complicated from what I've seen in terms of footage from YouTubers, but then again, I think, you know, people have gotten used to new tracks already a couple of times, especially if you've been playing the games for a few years. I personally loved Malaysia. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Like, that was a really good driver's track where you enjoy every lap you put in. And I think those are the sort of tracks that generate good performances from people, and then that also generates into good racing. The fact that a track is a little bit complicated, or, oh my god, Latope spinning out at the corner of, what was that? I think that was corner 15 there. Unfortunately, he was on a really good lap. He actually set a purple second sector, but that's gonna set him back quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, tracks have been changing, and I'm actually excited to see how the tracks are going to evolve through the future as well. We're actually coming to the last minute here of qualifying. Let's see who's going to be able to make it to the line. Looks like Zegrees failed, and a couple of other people might be able to make it to the line before we run out of time for their last attempt in qualifying here at the Circuit of the Americas in the United States. Here today for round 15 of only 16 total. So we've only got this race and one more to go next week in Mexico, and that's going to be season 9 of TCR Golden Class done.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't even realize W is pole sitter with 131.5, so he's in a very good position, and everybody is on the soft tires.
Absolutely, everyone is. Of course, we don't know the weather forecast, unfortunately, again, so I'm not sure if they're playing any sort of strategy games right here in qualifying already, but I'm watching Zegrees on board right now. He has put in the quickest first sector. He's about to come to the end of the second sector, a little bit of a lockup into turn 12. But there we go, a second sector purple as well. He's up by 2/10 now over W, so that's a pretty good lap. Another huge lockup now into 15, and only a few more corners to go here. The big double right-hander, very, very high speed through here. You can pretty much keep it flat out if you get it right. And then only a couple more corners to go for Zegrees. Is he going to be able to steal the pole position? Failed is going to cross the line right in front of him as well. Failed stays third. Zegrees, he goes third and knocks down Failed to fourth place. So it looks like it's going to be W on pole with JFD starting in second position. Zegrees in third. Failed UX in fourth. RC7 in fifth. FYKV in 6th, Latope in 7th, Dre Diggy in 8th, M9H Racing in 9th. Bam Bam, I think, is still on the lap. Is he going to be able to close this one out? Let's take a look. Oh, Flying Jippo goes to 4th place, knocking down Failed down to 5th.
I
So,
don't think Bam Bam's going to do anything because he's been driving pretty slow and he has low
yes, he
fuel.
is. Yeah, absolutely. Now, failed UX, yeah, he's got his invalidated as well. So, but yeah, that was very exciting from Zegrees and W and JFD there in the dying minutes and seconds of this qualifying session to come in and shake things up just like you predicted.
See, there you go. You gotta believe, man. You gotta believe.
Well, now I'm really excited to see who else is going to come at us here with a little bit of a surprising performance. But right now, yeah, that's the starting grid as it looks. We've got a couple of people who are completing their laps because they made it past the line, but they're not going to be any quicker than what they've already put in so far. So yeah, I've run through everybody down to M9H Racing, who's actually now down to 10th place. Bam Bam's going to be 11th, Coleman 12th, Red Wing 13th. Flip Flop Fish has not set a time. He's going for a last to first challenge here today. He's announced that in the league chat earlier today. Very exciting to watch. I'm really liking that sort of attitude from Flip Flop Fish, and I'm sure that we're gonna get a chance to watch his onboards a little bit more throughout the race as well, because recently he's been out in the lead, and that doesn't give us a chance to watch him.
Interesting. Okay. I hear that.
All right, so again, to the starting grid for tonight is going to be W, and then JFD in second. Z-Grease is going to be starting third, Flying Jippa fourth, Failed UX, our champion, in fifth, RC7 in sixth, FYKV in seventh, Latop in eighth, Drake Diggy in ninth, M9H Racing in 10th, Bam Bam in 11th, Coleman in 12th, Red Wing in 13th, Flip Flop Fish did not set a time, he's going to be starting in 14th, Gordo did not set a time in 15th, and Ben Swerven did not set a time either, he's going to be starting in 16th. I'm pretty sure Ben Swerven is a reserve here tonight from the silver class.
Okay. All right. We'll see what he can do. Still say, even if you're just reserving, I say, hey, that also gives you an opportunity to impress the upper eons of the next class to be like, oh, okay, all right, he can hold his own. I like to see that.
And yeah, this is a perfect chance for those sort of upsets and surprises. I would just ask people to try and keep it as clean as possible. And hopefully we'll be in for a good race, as my wife is now switching my light on and off, and making it a party in my room here. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, shoot. There you go.
I
She's
asked
doing
her,
the disco lights.
I asked her to come in and turn on my light, because I always forget to do that before I start the stream and before I start commentating. And then I'm in the dark a little bit later.
Well, at least you're not in a doghouse.
Well, no, we don't have one. We're in an apartment, unfortunately. So
I mean the dog.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
doghouse
yeah.
has a.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sleeping on the couch. No. Yeah.
Okay.
To all of you out there, I just got married in September of last year, so I'm just sort of finding out what it's like to be in the married life. But to everybody out there that is married and is going through the struggles of being locked up with your significant other for the longest time, I feel your pain.
Well, congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you so much. No, I'm just joking around. We're pretty happy.
Okay. That's good, because again, I don't want you to be in the doghouse.
Thank you very much for your care and compassion. Mr. Sensation, always being the best here today. I'm gonna miss you in the off time before we have season 10, which is gonna be a special season, because it's an anniversary season, right? Season 10 that's a special date.
Yeah, wow, yeah, that definitely would be. And I didn't even think about that, because you just say season 9, season 10. I wasn't even thinking, but yeah, that would be special. And then hey, look at that, you got a game that's 2020. Look at that, 2020 vision. 2020 vision in 10 seasons. Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All of the numbers lining up, but let's see how the numbers and the stars are going to line up for our drivers here tonight. As a reminder, this is round 15 of only 16 rounds in total of this season. This is season 9. We're coming to the very, very end of it now. And it's been decided already in this golden class. Failed UX is our champion. Renault is also very, very close to having the Constructors Champion. It's almost pretty much decided unless Ferrari can come back at it. And, you know, who knows? Man. Maybe Failed UX has a bad race today. I don't see if he's got a teammate on today. Is that RC7? Is that his teammate?
Yes, RC7.
All right, well, that means that both Renaults are on grid today. Both Ferraris are on the grid today as well. So, this is going to be a very exciting one. There's a lot of corners on this track, which usually means that people will come together and we will have some battling to watch and follow around. The likes of Flip-Flop Fish, who are starting at the back, that's going to be a very interesting one to watch. I'm also going to be watching for the likes of Bam Bam and Latope, because those people, they always manage to come through the grid later on in the race. They don't qualify perfectly every time, but they definitely do much better in the race. Who are your main people that you think we should watch out for tonight, Mr. Cessation?
I'm interested actually in W, the pole sitter, Latope, and Bam Bam. The dark horse would be, it's kind of crazy I'm saying this, would be Mr. Catfish, Flip-Flop Fish, because I want to see how he's going to do from the back of the grid and moving forward, which I'm surprised he didn't go on the mediums. He actually went on the softs. Interesting.
Yeah, actually it worked out for quite a few people last night, so let's see how it works out for him today. As we are all lined up from our formation lap, we've got 3, 4, 5 lights on. Let's go racing in Coda. Oh, we've got some jump!
Oh,
Coleman has jumped, and it looks like Bam Bam has jumped as well. Or no, sorry, that was Ben Swerven who has jumped as well. And now we're off to the start. And it looks like W is still managing to lead. Oh, Flying Jippo and Z-Grease come together, and Z-Grease drops a couple more positions, has now Failed UX, pulls ahead of him as well, and W and JFD have managed to keep on their first and second positions so far. Let's see what's going on there. Z-Grease is down to 5th now, and he's got to catch up on Failed. Flying Jippo going wide again in the end of the first sector on the first lap, so a little bit of a hectic start. We had a couple of people who jumped the start, and from there on, yeah, it sort of created a little bit of a confusion for the rest of the drivers on the grid. But we're watching now as Z-Grease as keeping behind Failed UX. He's dropped from 3rd all the way down to 5th.
Yeah, I think even in yesterday's race, you guys had like the lights were kind of late. I've noticed that here in US, so maybe that was the problem. At the start of this one, it's like the lights have like a 5-second delay or something.
Yeah, I think actually yesterday I was actually surprised not by how late it was, but how quick it was. The lights went on and and they went off instantly. It was almost instant. But today it definitely took a very long time for them to go off, and I think it definitely caught some people off guard. Also, this is the end of the season, so some people might not be, you know, as eager to surprise us here today as others. Oh, as now M9H Racing is pitting on the end of lap 1. I don't see any damage on the front wing, so I'm not sure. Oh, and then we've got Coleman. That's their drive-through penalties. They're serving. So it was M9H Racing and Coleman, the two people that jumped the start here today. Very unfortunate for the both of them. So they're going to have to catch up on the rest of the field. Now Latope has dropped a couple of positions. FYKV has overtaken him. Trey Diggy has overtaken RC7 as well ahead of them. So already people are battling it out. RC7 now going a little bit wide through the next couple of corners, and that lets FYKV catch up to him. So lots of battling already on lap 2 of 28. We've got a long way to go here today. It looks like the weather is mainly sunny, but then again, this game could surprise us at any second.
Oh yeah, it definitely can. And the dark horse that I picked, which is Flip-Flop, he's now in 10th. Chasing down Latope.
Already made up 4 positions, sorry, and that's M9H Racing who has spun out. Let me take a look if I can catch him here. He's back up going again, but now he's got damage on his front wing, so that's definitely going to be another stop for him. Flip-Flop Fish is up to 9th.
Yeah. Might as well get ready to say he's up to 8th.
He's not waiting here today at all. He's definitely trying to make headway as soon as he can through the field. And yeah, making up 5 positions on the first couple of laps. That's definitely going to give him a boost of confidence here today, as he's almost on the back of FYKV already, as RC7 is having trouble through the corners. FYKV losing the back as well on the penultimate corner there coming out. And yeah, this is definitely going to stir things up here today. Tire temperatures is one thing I did not mention at the start of the race, but yesterday I noticed my tires were hot. They were, on average, the softs were around 105 degrees, the mediums were 102, 103, so you gotta make sure you don't overdrive the car here today, because that can lose you quite a bit of time. Now I want to take a look at RC, because I've seen him going wide on a lot of corners. I'm not sure if he's got any sort of damage. It doesn't look like it, so I think he's just having trouble with those soft tires.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're wear and tear, plus you're in a hot climate, so I mean, this is Austin, so yeah, it's going to be much hotter than it is, so
Coleman gets more trouble already. 3-second time penalty for him just after he served a drive-through penalty, and he's at the very back of the grid, except for M98 Racing, who is currently running last, but he's in the pits changing his front wing. He just came out of the pits serving his drive-through penalty as well, and then he had a little bit of a half spin, and I think he hit the wall somewhere. So yeah, very unfortunate for him. I'm watching Latope as he's trying to close back to the end, to the back of FYKV, and ahead of him I'm seeing Flip-Flop Fish making another move now, setting a purple second sector and trying to make a move on RC7.
Which I think he is going to do, because man, RC7,
yeah, almost losing the back and almost coming into the pathway of Flip-Flop Fish. Oh, and he does that again. Oh. He almost lost the back there slightly, and Flip-Flop Fish managing to get ahead of him. Great work from Flip-Flop Fish, up into 7th place already, starting from 14. Wow. So he's cut down the grid in half in just 3 laps now, and he only had DRS for 1 out of those 3 laps. Very, very impressive from him. I think the challenge he took on today is working out well so far, but he's still got quite a few more people to go, and anything can happen, as we know from league racing and from this season.
Well, he has already a purple sector, so he might end up with the fastest lap overall, which would probably put him on the pace he's going. Maybe he'll be in 5th or 4th position by that point. He'll probably be right next to his teammate.
I think he might be close enough to make a run on Dre Diggy on the straight right now. He's going around the outside, and now they're going to be coming into turn 12. Oh, but Dre Diggy's still defending around the outside. He's going deep, but that's not going to be enough for Flip-Flop Fish, who gets ahead now into 6th place. And as I said, this is giving us a great chance to watch on board with him and follow him around a couple of laps and see how he does it, how he's overtaking these people, and how he's got such great pace and that we've seen so far in the last few races. I've actually done a little bit of calculation, and he's got the most wins in this season already, having come into the season with, I think he missed out on 6 races in total at the start of the season.
Wow.
But he doesn't have the most podiums. That one is still held by Failed UX, who's at, I think, 8 or 9 in the season, which is very, very impressive. Flip-Flop Fish has now set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. As you said, you know, he's on an amazing pace so far, but he's not within DRS zone currently of Zegri, so he's going to have to close in the gap a little bit.
Oh, he'll be there. He'll be there. I think his teammate is like waiting for him so they can kind of work together, because they're pretty close to each other right now. Once he gets past Secret, I think that's when he's going to turn on the jets, and then I think these guys will start taking over after that.
Yeah, and while we were talking, I actually missed out, but JFD has dropped down to 4th place. Zegri's down to 5th, and Failed UX has just overtaken Flying Jimpo for 2nd position in this race. Very interesting turn of events there. Failed UX seems to be having some good pace here today in the USA. Not sure, is that his home Grand Prix?
I think so. I think it is.
So he might be wanting to win this one just for pride, for national pride, and it would be nice to win at your home Grand Prix. It's always a nice feeling. So we'll keep on watching to see how he's gonna progress through and if he's gonna be able to close in the gap on W, who's currently 2.5 seconds ahead of him. But Flip Flop Fish is already right on the back of Z-Grease. This is a nice little train that we've got formed up here, all the way down from Flying Jippo, JFD, Z-Grease, and now Flip Flop Fish up into 5th place. And he's not too far behind his teammate now either.
Well, he has 5th. I tell you what, he looks to be managing those softs very, very well. I followed him since he was in 10th position, and he has not like locked up or anything like that. Hasn't gone, and he got the purple again. He hasn't locked up at all, so I pretty much know how to manage the tires here.
And now they're coming into turn 11 and out to the straight with the second DRS zone on this track. So this is going to be a chance for him to close in or possibly even go for a move on his teammate. Let's see if we're going to see any sort of team orders here. I don't think so. Nope, JFD is going to... Oh, JFD locks up and goes a little bit wide. This opens up the door for Flip Flop Fish, who's going down the outside. I think there's going to be a little bit of contact. No, I think they've avoided the contact there, but that was super, super close between the two Ferrari drivers. Definitely no team orders here today. This is all just a go for it, pretty much.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm telling you, man, he just needed to get in front, and then his teammate's going to get right behind him, and that's when they're going to turn on the jets. I'm telling you, the Ferraris. Oh wait, no, his teammate just going in the pits.
Yep, JFD is into the pits. That promotes Flip Flop Fish into 4th place. Z-Grease. And everybody's... Oh, and now it looks like Z-Grease was trying to defend there a little bit, but that was a little bit swarmy. Flailed UX is a little bit swarmy on the exit of turn 1. A bit of touching between Flying Jippo and Flip Flop Fish on the exit of turn 1 there. They touched wheels, and that sent Flip Flop Fish a little bit wide, so he's going to have a second go. But then Flying Jippo cuts the next corner and gets a 3-second time penalty. And now Flying Jippo is off. He just lost the back, and he went completely wide. He's going to lose a position to Z-Grease as well.
Oh, Chip, I thought he was going to get dangerous on the track there.
He's trying to come back. Yeah, he's trying to come back at Z-Grease now. Into turn 11 they go. He's trying to go down the inside. He does have the inside there. They're still side by side. Okay. Z-Grease gets the better exit and the better traction, and they're still going to be battling at it. It looks like Flying Jippo does get DRS. And now he's going around into the inside of the next corner of corner 12. Cutting the next corner a little bit as well. He's really cutting it close with the track limits here today. Already has a 3-second time penalty to his name. Flying Jippo ahead of him is really closing in on failed UX. He's only a couple of tenths behind him. So let's see how this is going to turn out as they're going to come to the closing of lap 7. And we've got 21 more laps to go.
Yeah, definitely. Flip-flop, man. I think... Okay, now he's going to there. There you go. It's time to get off those shoes.
He is into the pits, and I think he's probably going to go... Oh, RC7, 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Let's see what sort of tires. He's going on another set of soft tires, Flip Flop Fish. So that's going to be very interesting. Oh, no, it's mediums. Sorry, it's mediums. That was just a glitch in the system. A glitch in the matrix.
Oh, it's no surprise. It's Codemasters. Don't worry about it.
So now that they've come out of the pits, it looks like W is going to be in 9th place. He gets a 3-second time penalty for running the corner a little bit too wide there. Now he's battling for position with Red Wing as well, but he manages to get up into 9th place. Flip Flop Fish has come out in 12th, and again, right behind his teammate, JFD.
Oh, see? I'm telling you, he's going to take over. He's going to lead the way. His teammate's going to go right behind him. And then they'll be up there in about 2nd or 3rd in a couple of laps.
So let's take a look at those who have made their stops so far. It looks like WJFD44, Flip Flop Fish, FYKV, RC7, Coleman, and M9H Racing have all made stops here today. M9H Racing has actually made a stop for a broken front wing. It wasn't really a planned one, so that was very early in the race. Now we've got some battling here. Flip Flop Fish is battling with Red Wing and with his teammate JFD all at the same time. They're now side by side going into turn 12 and 13. Let's see how this is all gonna turn out. It looks like Flip Flop Fish is going to switch back around JFD. He manages to get ahead, and now they're coming into the next corner. Is he gonna? Oh, it looks like JFD sticks up his nose in, but that's not gonna be enough. Flip Flop Fish gets ahead into 10th position. So I'm wondering now if he's gonna take those tires until the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's definitely going to take it to the end. If he manages the softs that well, I think he's going to manage the mediums as even better.
And we've got more people in the pits now. Failed UX and Flying Jippo are both making their pit stops right now. Red Wing is now going to make his stop. Flip Flop Fish is really pulling away from JFD, but JFD is managing to stay with him. He's locking up again into turn 1 and going wide. That's going to lose him a bit of time. W has done the exact same thing, so I'm waiting for Flip Flop Fish to start making his move very, very soon to get his to make his way through the field again and catch up to those people who haven't made a stop yet, which is really only W that he needs to get around, and then he's gonna be again in the net lead of this race, having started from almost last on the grid.
Amazing, just amazing.
Very, very impressive here from Flip Flop Fish, and now we're on to the straight with the second DRS zone. He's very close to W. W is very close to Gordo. I think they're both gonna make a move on Gordo at the least.
Oh yeah.
And there we go. W is ahead, and Flip Flop Fish is ahead as well. W locks up a little bit into turn 12, but not enough for Flip Flop Fish to make a move there, so he's gonna stick to the back. He's gonna wait until the DRS zone at the end. No, he's not. He's gonna go down the inside of turn 13. Let's see if that's gonna be enough. They do make a bit of contact there, but then actually W ghosted, so unfortunately, or fortunately for the two drivers, they did not make contact there, but they did make a tiny, tiny little touch. Now Dre is into the pits as well, so another person is making their pit stops. This is gonna promote these two people a couple more positions as well. Let's see how this is going to turn out now. Flip Flop Fish does have DRS on W as they're coming around the start-finish straight. They're coming into turn 1. Flip Flop Fish going down the inside. Is this going to be enough? It looks like it, and Flip Flop Fish is now into 5th place, but he's technically the net leader of the race because everybody up from him did not make their stops yet. Now, let me switch back over to the tires here so I can take a look. Now, Best Warven and Bam Bam, those two guys are running on the medium tire. They started their races on those medium tires, so they're going to be able to squeeze out a few more laps out of them before they have to pit. But Z-Grease and Latope have made 9 laps last on those soft tires. They're doing pretty well because, I mean, Z-Grease is 3 seconds ahead of Latope. Latope is managing a bit of a gap to Bam Bam, and now Flip Flop Fish is making a move on Ben Swervin to move himself up into 4th position. This guy is just crazy. I don't know if he does have rocket boosters in this car or some sort of, you know, just superhuman ability. And now W is making a move on Ben Swervin as well. That was a little bit messy. I saw them making a tiny bit of touching in the back, but that promotes W into 5th. So W, if he can keep up with Flip Flop Fish, he might still have a chance at a good position here, but Flip Flop Fish is just putting on another show here for us tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, man, this guy is this guy's the real deal, man. He's making it happen. I think he's taking a page from Motor from last night, doing the impossible, coming from like last place. Well, for Motor it was like nearly last place, and then same thing for Flip here, and you know, boom, here he is.
And Latope and Z-Grease both go into the pits, so the only person who has not pitted in this Grand Prix is currently running in 1st place, which is Bam Bam. He does have 4.1 second gap to Flip Flop Fish. So let's see if he's going to be able to keep that up. JFD in the background there a few seconds ago, he did get another 3-second penalty, so I think that's 2 to his name already in this Grand Prix. There are a couple of corners that are easy to run wide in, especially I think corner 7. When you're coming out, it's a little bit uphill, and you gotta really slow down for the entrance, but then you gotta speed right out of it on the exit, and you gotta sort of get that. It's like, oh, somebody has spun out. Is that Coleman? I think it is. Yes, Coleman has spun out, and he's missing his full front wing.
Oh, Coleman.
Virtual safety car. Yep, ooh. That is deployed, and Coleman is running wide. He's not having a good day here again. But yeah, what I was talking about there before with running wide on corners, we've seen a lot of people with penalties this season around. What would be your advice for reducing penalties on a consistent basis?
Ooh. Oh, you mean for this track, or you just mean in general?
Well, in general.
You gotta slow your heart rate down. I think that's probably what it is. You know, because you want to catch up and you want to try to get back into the hunt. I think that's the problem, is that, you know, you're trying to play catch up, and that's where you would get your penalties, because you know you wouldn't have done that before, but now once you're a few seconds down, you're like, oh man, I can catch up. You end up cutting a corner that you know you wouldn't cut. So I think that's what you need to do. Just slow your heart rate down, take your time. You'll get back, especially when you know where you're at. Look at your lap, look at how many laps is left, and just pace yourself. Once you do that, you'll be back in the race before you know it.
Oh, and we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. That was a McLaren that had a spin there as well. But while we were talking, while we had the VSC, guess what just happened? Flip-Flop Fish is now in the lead of this Grand Prix. W is trying to keep up with him in second. Ben Swerven is now currently in third. He's still running on the set that he started on. And Coleman is now retired in the pits. Earlier on, it looks like Dre Diggy has had a moment. Yeah, he's missing a big chunk of his front wing. He had a spin at the exit of turn 3, it looked like. But yeah, now W is falling very quickly behind Flip-Flop Fish. JFD is into third place. So guess what? This is playing very much into the hands of Ferrari, trying to go for the championship, the Constructors Championship, very, very late into the season, because Failed UX is currently running completely out of the points, and if that's how this race is going to finish, that's not going to be very good for him.
Exactly. Hey, like I said, Flip-Flop leads the way. His teammates right behind. It's not far off. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be trying to do that 1-2 finish.
Flying Jippo got another 3-second time penalty, and on the previous lap he had some trouble coming into turn 1, running wide again. Now he is up into fourth place, having just overtaken Ben Swerven on the start-finish straight. We are now into lap 13 of 28. It's been overall pretty clean. We did have a VSC for a very brief moment, but no major incidents to report. Coleman has retired in the pits after having a couple of moments at the start of the race, and then just a couple of laps ago having a spin and losing his front wing. But yeah, I mean, this race is turning out to be very exciting for some people. Oh, Dre Diggy has retired in the pits as well after he had a bit of a moment on the previous lap. A little bit unfortunate for him, but yeah, Flip-Flop Fish back out into the lead, having started 14th in this race. He did announce earlier on that he's going to do this. Now Bam Bam is under attack from Latope, who's trying to make up positions, having started, I think he was around 9th or 7th or 8th when he was starting the race.
Something like that, yeah.
Let's take a look at the position change from the start. So yeah, as I've already mentioned, Flip-Flop Fish started 14th, currently running in first. W started on pole, he's in second. JFD started in second, he's currently third. Ben Swerven doing a pretty good performance here today. He started in 16th place. He was the complete last runner on the grid, and he is currently in fifth and holding his own so far. Z-Grease dropped 3 positions from where he started. FYKV is keeping his position in 7th. Bam Bam is up 3 positions from where he started, and one of the big drops is Failed UX. He started 5th and he's currently running in 11th.
This is crazy.
And we've got some comments coming in for Latope saying, "Go Latope." Absolutely. Let's see if he can make his way up back through the grid here today. RC7 gets a 3-second time penalty. He's running currently in 10th for the last point finishing position in this Grand Prix. But we are midway. We are on lap 14 of 28, so still anything can happen here today. And we can't really count anyone out, as now Latope is trying to make a move on Bam Bam, trying to stick his nose in there. Wasn't really enough, but now he's gonna have the DRS on the straight, and he's catching up to Bam Bam. Let's see if this is gonna be a move. Bam Bam's trying to defend on the outside, and now Latope is going around the outside into the next corner. Bam Bam going really deep, locking up there a little bit. FYKV in front of them, also locking up a bit. So people definitely are having trouble with all of the off-camber corners around this track. It's that's what really makes it so technical. It's not the fact that there are a lot of corners. It's really how those corners are lined up, one after the other, and all of the off-cambers. Look at this. We're going uphill, now we're going downhill. We're still in the same corner, and Bam Bam is having trouble with that, and Latope is trying to keep it together. FYKV, everybody is definitely struggling, or at least trying their best not to struggle here today with the traction of their cars and not overdriving that car too much. I'm actually getting a good view of Latope's Latope's steering wheel, and I'm seeing that he's able to keep his tires right around the 90-degree mark, which is absolutely amazing, because yesterday here, as I said, I was getting 105, 104. So yeah, very impressive from the Golden Class drivers that they're able to keep these tires going, and we're gonna have to check in and see how they're doing later on in the race. Van Swerven, I really want to point it out, he's doing a great job here today so far. He's managing to keep his pace and keep a gap on FYKV, and he's managed to make those medium tires last for 15 laps already, and doesn't seem to have too much of a struggle on them.
Amazing that he keeps it at 14 laps. So if he goes onto the softs, he's gonna have to have a nice little gap though for it to just happen. He might have a chance to be in the top 3.
And it looks like Flying Jippo has overtaken JFD for the last podium position in 3rd place, but Flying Jippo, I'm pretty sure I did see his name come up at least a couple of times with penalties. So that could come into play after the drivers cross the line, and we're gonna have to wait and see for that. We have already had a couple of races where the results were decided by penalties. You know, I do remember a couple of races where we had people with 3 or 4 penalties in their name as well.
Right, yeah. Flip just had the fastest lap, 135. I didn't catch what the seconds were, but he has the fastest lap.
Oh, and it looks like at the back there now we've got some battling going on with FYKV battling with Ben Swerven, and Bam Bam is now closing in on them, and now behind them also Latope and RC7 are closing in very, very quickly. This could be one hell of a battle here. This little train of about 5 or 6 cars is, it's all a lot of people that can definitely race and battle, so I'm very excited to see how this is all going to turn out now. Latope here is trying to make a move on Bam Bam. They're going to be coming into the DRS zone, but he's not going to wait for that. Latope is going down the inside now into turn 11. FYKV almost touching the back of Ben Swerven. Now he's going to go around the outside of them. Latope is up into 8th place. Bam Bam is going to try and keep to the back of Latope there. RC, is he close enough? No, but it looks like FYKV is trying to go around Ben Swerven again. He goes down the inside to the next corner. He makes it stick. And now Ben Swerven is back into 7th now. And now Latope going around the outside of him. Ben Swerven loses the car, cutting the corner on the inside, and he loses all of those positions, dropping down to 10th place.
Wow. Man. Well, that right there tells you. I think it might be time to well, he can still hold on with the mediums. I mean, it's 15 laps in, but he might be feeling the wear and tear now.
Yeah, and Bam Bam, who took his medium tires very, very far into the race, he's currently running on a hard tire, because once you start on a medium, unfortunately in this particular race, it doesn't give you too many options. Who is that? Is that Red Wing? Yeah, unfortunately Red Wing has had a spin. in corners 13 and 14 there, so that is a little bit unfortunate for him. But what I was gonna say again is it's to point out somebody like Ben Swerven. He's actually dropped down now to 10th place, but he was doing very, very well on those medium tires. I think what he's trying to do is pull them out as far as he can and then go on the softs instead of going on the hards like Bam Bam and Gordo, who are pretty much limited to that option because they started on that medium tire.
Yeah, absolutely.
JFD now hunting back that podium position, and he's going around the outside of Flying Jippo into turn 12. He does make that stick, but Flying Jippo is not gonna let that go. I'm sure he's gonna try and come back, and he's already coming back at him on the next corner, trying to go around the outside. That's not gonna work. He's pretty, I think they made a tiny little bit of touching, and now he's going down the inside into the double right-hander. A very fast right-hander, and how is that gonna work? JFD there losing the position. Now Flying Jippo is ahead. Wow, this is turning out to be very, very dangerous between JFD and Flying Jippo. They're switching positions on every couple of laps here, using the DRS to their advantage. They're both not showing too much ERS in their batteries, so wow, I'm not sure if this is going to end up in an incident or in a very beautiful overtake.
I think it's going to be a combination of both. I see it happening.
Let's hope that's gonna keep being clean. But now Latope has managed to get around Bam Bam, or for FYKV. No, he hasn't. FYKV comes right back at him, and he goes back to 7th place. This is still a little bit of a train now, but it seems to have split up into RC7, who's following Bam Bam, and then Latope, who's following FYKV. And again, those people are just, they keep on swapping positions. Somebody runs wide on the corner, and then the other person attacks. And then they've also got DRS, so they're swapping that around. This is one hell of a train now to watch. And these are actually two teammates as well, Latope and FYKV.
Well, yeah, and following the Flying Jippo battle here with, he's holding on. He's really holding on, but he's holding on by a thread.
Yeah, now Bam Bam is catching up to FYKV and Latope. Latope has managed to get back up into 6th place just a moment ago. And yeah, I don't even know. I'm getting nervous about this this sort of battle going on here. I don't know how this is gonna end. And same thing for JFD and Flying Jippo. JFD is back into 4th place now again. Flying Jippo is back up into 3rd. I don't think that's going to be the end of that. Let's go on board right now, as it looks like, yeah, FYKV is going into the pits to change his tires. I'm sure he's probably going to go on the soft tire, and I'm guessing maybe somebody else will do the same thing, but so far he's the only one who has jumped on this little bit of a switch. Flying Jippo with another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, he
Is he pushing too hard?
He was pushing hard, but I don't think he should have got the penalty for it. But, you know, this game is going to, you know, strict corner cutting, it's going to hit you. You did it, so. He was right through the S's, of course.
And now they're coming up to the DRS zone here. Is JFD going to be close enough on this occasion to take back 3rd place? He's catching up very, very quickly, but I don't think this is going to be enough. He takes a look on the inside, but thinks twice about it. Go back behind Flying Jippo now. And then coming into the next couple of corners here, let's see how Flying Jippo is going to be able to hold it together. Looks like he's overall able to hold it together, but he does get very wide runs in certain corners, and I think that's where he's getting his warnings and his penalties from.
Oh yeah, definitely. How about W tonight, huh? He's calm, he's cool, he's only 5 seconds behind. He's not that far off, man, and you know, he actually finally has a race where he has a cool head right now, so he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I just went on board with him, but unfortunately he's having that rev glitch, so I do apologize for that. But he's doing an amazing job here today, running in 2nd place right now, and as you said, only 5 seconds behind Flip Flop Fish, which is, you know, when you're talking about Flip Flop Fish, that's not a big gap at all. Flying Jippo, though, and JFD, those are still battling for the last step on the podium. Flying Jippo does have some penalties to his name. I don't know exactly how many, but we're now on lap 20 of 28, so only 8 more laps to go here tonight in round 15 of Season 9 in Golden Class of TCR. And as we've said already, it's been a very, very exciting and amazing season to watch and commentate on, and I'm sure for some of the drivers it was very exciting to drive as well. We've heard for many drivers along the season about their plans for the future and what sort of, gives them their success in their races and things like that. So yeah, I think it's been an incredible season so far, and I'm really excited to see how the last couple of races are going to end up. JFD and Flying Jippo here are fighting for third position in this race, but as we've mentioned, there's also a big fight going on for the third position overall in the championship in this class. The gap between third and sixth is only 16 points, and the gap between ninth and seventh is only 5 points. So those spots are still open for grabs, and yeah, it would be very interesting to see who's going to be fighting for those.
Oh yeah, definitely. Boy, looks like this battle here with JFD 44 and Flying Jippo, man. I think if he just keeps his pace, he's gonna end up on podium because just of the penalties alone. I think Jippo has 2 penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I saw Flying Jippo's name come up at least a couple of times in terms of penalties, so that would be at least 6 seconds to his name, so it's going to be a lot to make up, and at the moment, him and JFD are separated by less than a second. I think I saw JFD's name possibly come up once with a penalty. Maybe towards the end of the race, we'll ask you, Mrs. Sensation, to go into the race director and check out how many penalties they do have. But, I mean, we're going to find out at the end of the race anyways, and that's what makes league racing exciting, especially for the drivers. As you're driving, unless you're asking your engineer to provide you with information on how many seconds they do have in front of you or behind you, sometimes they don't even say. So sometimes you can't really get that information, and you wouldn't really know, and sometimes you cross the line in, 6th place, and all of a sudden you jump to 4th.
That's true. That's very true.
And I'm seeing that somebody in the comments is asking us to provide them with information on where is W in the standings. So W is currently in 9th. He's currently got 65 points. So he's the one who's technically in contention to get up to maybe around 7th or 6th. Now, if the next race goes as well as it's currently going for him right now, mind you, Flip Flop Fish has just pitted and put on a brand new set of soft tires. So he's dropped down to 4th place. So he's going to have to make up those positions in the next 6 laps here. So W could possibly, if he's able to keep more than 8 seconds in the next 6 laps, he's going to be able to finish here in the win. Now, if that happens, W can possibly contend for 4th or 5th place overall in the standings. And then next race, if he has a good result as well, he could possibly end up in 3rd. I mean, W has been surprising us throughout the season, and he hasn't stopped yet. Oh, and now Flying Jippo and JFD make a tiny bit of contact as JFD was trying to go around the outside of him in turn 12 there, and that didn't quite work. And now Flip Flop Fish is right on the back of his teammate again.
I'm telling you, the man needs Flip to go in front of him.
Oh no, W gets a 3-second time penalty. That is very unfortunate. I was really hoping that he could stay clean and keep his gap going. Flip Flop Fish has now gotten ahead of JFD as well. So Flip Flop Fish is back on the podium into 3rd place. He's half a second behind Flying Jippo. He does have DRS on him as well. So I'm sure that he's going to try and go for the win here today if he can. Now, W is doing a pretty good job. He has 7.6 seconds currently as a gap on Flip Flop Fish. Flying Jippo knows how to defend this position as well, so he's not going to make it easy on Flip Flop Fish here today either. But W has that 3-second penalty that we just saw come up on screen a few moments ago, which means that really the gap between Flip Flop Fish and W is currently around 3.6, 3.7 seconds. All things considered.
Wow. Oh boy, look at this. Look at what this guy is doing. He
There you
is.
go. There's Flip-Flop Fish into second now, and Flying Jippo did not make it easy on him, but unfortunately, there's just not much you can do against this guy, and he's proven it multiple times in the last couple of races here. He's currently on a on a winning streak. If he ends up winning this race here, he's gonna have 4 in a row, which I think you have already said, Mr. Sensation, would be an ultimate record here in this league overall.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, yeah, unless he's gonna tie a Ascari with 9 straight victories. I mean, that's gonna be pretty interesting. I mean, what race did he start? What was his first? Do you know if what was his first race?
Yeah, give me one quick moment here and I'll tell you exactly. So, Flip-Flop's first race was Austria. And that means that he started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He started in round 8. So he literally started halfway into the season. Now we have a Sector 2 yellow flag. I think that is for Red Wing, who is having another moment here today in today's race. But yeah, so he's been on the podium every single race so far. He's had second, first, third, second, and then 3 wins in a row. So if he's able to get the win here today, that's going to be 4 wins in a row with 8 podiums in a row.
Wow.
Incredible.
That is a streak. That's yeah, nobody has ever done that streak. I don't think anybody has ever done that streak, no.
Absolutely incredible. Now, he is down to a gap of 4.3 seconds to W, which actually means that the gap is down to 1.3 seconds because W has 3 seconds of penalties. Now, actually reading the comments, thank you so much, Steven Jones, for sending in that comment. He is saying W actually has 6 seconds of penalties. So that's going to set him back to second place, and if Flying Jippo is able to close in the gap a tiny little bit, he might actually bounce back to second place and W might end up in third. Honestly, everything is going out to W right now. Please do your best. Keep going at it, man. You can do this. End up in second at least. That'll be fine. But don't drop down to third. Keep a gap going. Now, Flying Jippo, mind you, is dropping back behind Flip-Flop Fish right now. And Flip-Flop Fish just had another fastest lap with a 1:34.2. He's only 2.2 seconds slower than his qualifying lap in the race.
Oh, boy. Look at this. This is crazy. But remember, so I did say that the Ferraris would probably be right behind each other. Because Jippo has a penalty. W has a penalty, so respectfully, they'll probably finish 1 and 2.
That's right, because Flying Jippo has at least six seconds of penalties. We're not sure about JFD, and JFD is only 7/10 behind Flying Jippo at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think JFD has anything. So as of now, the Ferraris are good. Segrist might be able to, honestly, he might be able to squeeze into the top 3. Barring of the penalties, he might be able to squeeze in.
JFD is making another move here on Flying Jippo. He's closed in the gap from about 7/10 down to a 1/10. He managed to, he was trying to stick his nose in there, but that didn't really work out too well. So Flying Jippo is still holding on to third place, but with all of his penalties considered, he's currently really in 5th or 6th. No, 5th, yeah, absolutely 5th, because Z-Grease is only 2.6 seconds behind JFD, and I haven't seen his name come up in penalties.
Bye-bye there. Bye-bye, W.
Yep, there we go. So W is now down to second place. Outright on track, Flip-Flop Fish is back to be the leader. He was not waiting until the end of the race here for penalties to come into effect. He was just gunning for it, and yeah, he's back into the lead. W is keeping on to second place. Flying Jippo in third. JFD is still fighting for that third position with him. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is that Red Wing again? It does look like it is Red Wing again. I think he's retired because it's his car ghosting.
Really?
But back to this battle with JFD and Flying Jippo. I feel like we've been watching it a lot today, but these guys have been just back and forth at it, and now JFD is coming out of turn 11 onto the DRS straight, the second DRS straight on this track. Flying Jippo is currently 3/10 ahead. Let's see if this is gonna be enough for JFD. He's going round the outside of Flying Jippo. Let's see if that's gonna be a good one. No, he doesn't manage to get right ahead of him, so Flying Jippo is still holding on to that third place. Zegrease is now closing in on the both of them, and yeah, that means that Flying Jippo is possibly in danger of losing a couple of positions instead of just that one position back to JFD.
Yeah, and then he has what? His tires are 2 laps younger than JFD, so
I'm not sure if that's going to be much of an advantage towards the end here, but JFD is also doing an amazing job of keeping up to Flying Jippo. Now they're on the start-finish straight with DRS as well. Let's see if this is going to be the move. No, JFD is just sticking behind Flying Jippo. I'm wondering if he has called Jeff on the radio and has asked him if Flying Jippo has any penalties and has found out that there's no point of fighting.
That could be it. That could be it. That's definitely it. Yeah. But then again, then he's going to be like, man, I wish I would have known about W's penalties.
Yeah, and maybe push a little bit harder and then gain another position. Those are crucial points as well for Ferrari. And Failed UX now setting the fastest lap with a 133.3. That was very, very fast. That was 8/10 faster than Flip Flop Fish's fastest lap.
Yeah, he's moving.
Yeah, and Failed UX is currently in 10th place, so he's going to get 1 point and possibly this fastest lap point if that stays until the end of the Grand Prix, which I think it probably will because we're now on lap 27 of 28, so not much to go. But yeah, he's going to get 2 points of that. RC7 is currently running in 8th, so that's 4 points. So that's a total of 6 points for Renault. And then it looks like Ferrari is going to get the 25 and the 15, so 40 points. They're going to close in within danger zone for Mexico in terms of the Constructors' Championship.
Oh, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I like to see.
And now we have started lap 28 of 28, the last lap of this race. We're still watching on board with JFD as he is still battling with Flying Jippo for what seems like eternity. Oh, and now JFD losing it on the entrance to turn 1, and that's going to drop him back by quite a bit on Flying Jippo. So I don't think he's going to have the chance to overtake him outright on track anymore here today, as he's now losing the back a little bit around the next couple of corners as well. I think you were right, Mrs. Sensation. Those couple of laps difference in the tire life of these medium tires is actually coming into play on the very last lap of the race.
Yeah, he was two laps younger. I'm on board with Segrist, and I'm going to see if he's going to jump the gun here, because I'm pretty sure he will be probably finishing 4th, and the Ferraris might be finishing 1-2. Might.
That would be very interesting to watch. So right now W has 5.6 plus 7.6 seconds, so that is a 7.4 seconds, so he still has 1.4 seconds after Flying Jippo's penalties considered. And Flying Jippo himself has 6 seconds as well. So I think W is going to be able to keep his position, but JFD is definitely going to jump up. But we've actually missed Flip Flop Fish crossing the line and winning another Grand Prix here to make it 4 straight. W is now across the line in 2nd. Flying Jippo is going to be crossing in a few moments here. And let's see how this is going to change positions. JFD jumps into 3rd. Zegrease is in 3rd.
Wow.
So that means Flying Jippo has penalties of his own that let Zegrease jump up to the last step of the podium. What an amazing performance from Zegrease here tonight. Absolutely incredible. And then the rest of the podium, so that means JFD is in 4th, Flying Jippo is in 5th, Lataupe in 6th, Bam Bam in 7th, RC7 is going to finish in 8th, FYKV finishes 9th, Failed UX is just coming across and spins out at the last corner. I don't think he cares anymore at all, just like he did Donuts in the last Grand Prix as well. And there we go, he comes comes across the line now, swerving on the grass, and he's going to be 10th for the last point on the grid. Ben Swerven is going to come across in 11th for what was a pretty good race for him at the start, but then sort of dropped off from there. He's actually getting overtaken by Gordo at the end. I think he ran out of fuel.
Okay. See, well, this is what I said earlier, you know, you want to push a little bit, but you want to know who also, if you push and want to get past the guy that had the penalty, you got to know what's going on with the guy above him. So there you go. And Segrist worked out.
And yeah, there we go. Flip Flop Fish taking another beautiful win here today. W gets second place. A very, very good performance from him. And then Segrist surprising out of the bag, coming from 5th to 3rd due to penalties for both Flying Jippo and for who was it again?
Oh.
It was, who was that? It was Flying Jippo and JFD, of course. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there we go. There's our finishing grade now. Flip Flop Fish, W, and Segrist are on the podium. JFD in 4th, Flying Jippo in 5th, Latop in 6th, Bam Bam in 7th, RC7 in 8th, FYKV in 9th, and Failed UX was the last point finisher. M98 Racing in 11th, Ben Swerven in 10th, Gordo in 13th, and then we had a couple of DNFs, or 3, Red Wing, Dre, and Coleman. They all retired in the pits. But for Segrist, what this means is he's going to be now just a couple of points behind Latop for 3rd place. So this is all going to be very exciting towards the end for the last Grand Prix of the season for who's going to steal 3rd place for the overall standings.
All right, well, you called it, man. It's going to be, it was these guys were bunched together in points, and now we're seeing what's going to happen.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and invite our drivers here into the party so we can talk to them and get their perspective on the race here today. It's definitely been a very interesting race in terms of, just overall, I think pace was really the key to winning here today for most people. Yeah. But also the penalties really came into play right at the last moment and changed things up. And this is going to be very, very exciting to hear from them. Actually, it looks like Segrist is another party, so I can't invite him into the post race. But let's get W on here. And yeah, thanks again to everybody who was watching the stream so far. We're just getting our podium finishers onto here so we can talk to them, and we'll get that done in just a second. But leave us your comments and let us know what you guys thought of the race. What was your favorite moments, and who do you think is going to end up stealing 3rd place in the overall standings here at the end of the season? I see that W has joined us already, so let's jump into an interview with him. And W, congratulations on a very, very good drive here today. 2nd place. Big load of points for you. It's gonna jump you up right now to, it looks like, about probably 6th or 7th place. How did it go from your perspective today? How was the race, and what were the sort of notable moments?
Oh boy, that's I think I turned on the settings. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. let me just check. I think I turned on the settings.
Okay.
Or you could just hear it on the broadcast. I think that's audio. Okay, it's on checklist. Alright, oh man. First of all, I want to just say thanks to all my family and friends who's also helping me in this track. Oh man, dude. I didn't expect to get podium this season, or even pole. Yeah, I turned off the racing line just for fun, because I feel burned out on the game, and then I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. Maybe we won't get podiums, we won't get wins, we won't even not even get top 5s. So, we're gonna. It's part of the learning process. It's part of the having fun of it, and yeah, I mean, probably because of the track too. I got like good history on this track. So, I mean, like, yeah. feels fun. Hope you guys got the footage so I can watch it.
Yes, we did.
All right.
Well, congratulations on a very good result. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Mr.
No, oh, sorry. Now I was just saying, with with your history, W is I know you get frustrated at times, and I was like, if he can just keep his head cool, and you had the podium, you had pole position when you started the race, and I was like, okay, if he just keeps a cool head, he can win it because he's good. He can win it. So with Flip Flop when going to the softs, did you feel like, okay, like, all right, I'm not going to win the race, but at least I got second place, I'm on podium, I'm okay with that? Or was it that, man, you just wish that you can actually win the U.S. Grand Prix?
Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. Sensation. Forgot when did I get the actual 6 seconds though. So at the time I try not to fall off farther than second because I know Flip Flop is quick. He's quick. Like with my pace that I have right now, I don't have a chance. Like in honesty, I don't have a chance to replace him, which is surprising because I managed to hold almost below a second for a couple laps. I'm actually surprised at that. And then he just turned on his machine and then just gone. But yeah, my focus was third. I do have 6 seconds, and then the gap reduces from 8 to 7. And I was like, okay, just hit my braking points, just hit the traction point, just hit the traction parts of the track, and then I think I should be good. Then yeah, I think it all went well.
Okay. Well, congratulations again on a very, very good race. It was very good to watch from our perspective as well. And good luck in Mexico next week. You do have a chance of gaining a few more positions in the championship standings and possibly finishing in the top 5 or top 6 or so. So definitely good luck there. I did try to invite the other 2 podium finishers, but Flip Flop Fish has let us know that his microphone is broken, so he's unable to join us, and Z-Grease is not replying. But yeah, it was a very exciting race for Z-Grease, coming from finishing 5th or 6th on track and then jumping all the way up to 3rd for getting that last podium position. If you guys have missed out on the race, definitely rewind it back and rewatch it, because we had some very exciting moments. Great battling between Flying Jippo and JFD for probably about at least 10 laps or so, and yeah, very, very nice race overall. So thanks again for everybody who was watching with us tonight. Join us again tomorrow for Platinum class back here at the USA as well for Circuit of the Americas. Another 28 laps of craziness at this technical, very, very technical track. And yeah, thanks again for joining. As I said, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks again, Mr. Sensation, for joining me in the booth tonight.
No problem, man. It was great, man. I have fun. Oh, you know, we like a dynamic duo here. I like that.
That's good to hear, man. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you next week as well for the season finale in Mexico for Golden Class Season 9. I want to mention again for everybody who is thinking of joining a league and might be interested, all of the details are in the description of the video. You can join the league, all of our different classes. Also, check out our affiliation with Fanatec and get yourself some cool racing gear if you're interested. But that's going to be it here for this stream of Golden Class Racing and TCR for Season 9 here tonight. Thanks again for everybody who was watching, and we will see you again tomorrow for Platinum class. Have yourselves a great night.